Are you a career woman with a side hustle idea, and this time around you want to make sure that when you do launch it, it actually doesn't lead to loss of your funds, loss of your time? In essence, it's actually a success. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the 5 common mistakes that career women make when they're trying to launch a side hustle and how to avoid them. If you're new here, you are welcome. If you're not, I'm so happy to see you again. My name is Iphie, and my mission with this channel is to help Christian career women desiring more income, fulfillment, and freedom in their lives achieve just that while growing in their careers and being strong, influential women in their homes and in their nations. So if you haven't hit subscribe already, please do hit the subscribe button and the bell notification to get notified every time I post a new video about becoming this uncommon woman. I failed more than 4 times before I launched my first successful side business. However, by the time this business was 2 years old, I had a number of my colleagues asking me, Iphie, how did you do it? What exactly did you do? How did you start? I was so excited to help them. I was very, very excited to share my secrets, to share what I did, to sit with them, to map out plans, to even schedule follow-up sessions to support and guide them. However, I noticed that only a handful of these really excited women actually got to launch their businesses. The mistakes I will share with you in this video are the things that I noted that stopped a lot of these excited women from launching their businesses. But it will also include the mistakes that I made on my own personal journey the first 4 times that I failed. These mistakes will also cover that. So ready to get this super right? Let's dive in. Point number 1. The first mistake that most career women make is jumping on every shiny object, every trend. They tell you, oh, this is the trend now that is making money. This is it, put your money here. And we take our hard-earned money and we just invest in it. Now that's in itself not a problem, because there are opportunities that you could just take advantage of and actually grow and actually make money and actually convert to a side hustle. The problem with this part is that most of these opportunities, most of these shiny objects, we really don't understand it. You should never put your money into something that you don't really understand. We don't understand it. We most times are believing what somebody said. I remember the first 2 times I did network marketing. They shared the whole script. They shared the whole plan. I understood some parts, but I just felt like, you know what, my upline understands everything. I would just put in my money and I trust that it would follow that pattern. It did not. I lost all my money, not once, not twice, you know. So mistake number 1 is jumping on every shiny object, every trend, without truly understanding what it takes to make it work and asking yourself, am I going to be committed to this? Am I going to be able to do the full work? Now, instead of making that mistake, what you should rather do, given that you're a career woman, you don't have so much time, is to actually start a side business that is born out of your purpose, is born out of the things that you love to do, you're excited to do. The reason why is because you already work. You get home in the evening, you most likely have children, you have your husband, you have limited time. That time you should spend it on something that excites you. You should spend it on something that even if they wake you up from your sleep, you have that internal drive and energy to do it. And most of all, this is something that you love to do. This is something that is born out of your purpose. You know it inside out. So instead of making the mistake of jumping on every shiny object, like I made a couple of years ago, my recommendation is to actually launch a side hustle that is born out of your purpose and your passion, because with this, you just light up. You're just the expert here and you would make the time for it. Mistake number 2 that most career women make when they're trying to launch a side hustle is over planning, over analysis. Like, honestly, we take it like our projects at work, right? Like, you have a project at work, you sit down, you have a team session, you brainstorm, you have, in my world, we used to call it a CPS, a critical path schedule. You sit down, you break all the milestones. It's such a big deal. Yeah, because it's a big organization, most likely. When you're starting a side hustle, the key is to just start. Remember Nike? Just start. So the mistake that most career women make is that we overplan, we overanalyze, and guess what? It never happens. It just all remains in your head. One of the women I was telling you about that was so excited and never launched her business, this was what happened to her. She had this amazing idea about creating a brand, a dairy brand that was going to sell yogurts, simple yogurts. But she made it so big. She had really grand plans. And guess what? This is a number of years later. If I'm not mistaken, it's at least 7 years. And this idea has not been born. Now, what would I advise you to do? Start small, but think big. It's a side hustle. It's based on something that you're passionate about, you love to do anyway. So start small, test the idea, and then you grow from there. When I started my side hustle, I had big dreams about it. I had a big vision. But I started small. I didn't even have the money to start the website. I created a really horrible looking website by myself. And then when I had proven the idea, we had clients, I was able to upgrade to the bling bling shiny look that I wanted for my website, for my business. So mistake number 2 is over planning, over analyzing, because it leads nowhere. Actually, it does lead somewhere. It leads to the death of your idea. So rather, start small, think big, and scale really fast. Mistake number 3, outsourcing too soon. I made this mistake. One of the ideas that I launched, I had this brainwave about launching a concierge service for very busy professionals and then helping them to run their errands and their tasks. Amazing idea. The first time I went out, I sold it and I actually got a client. But guess what I did that was wrong? I outsourced my idea too soon. So I got a team, and listen to me, I got a team to actually, drive the sales of everything. And I left the ownership of the idea and then driving the idea in their hands. That's one mistake that a lot of career women make when you're trying to launch a side hustle. You outsource the leadership and the driving of that side hustle to external parties who really don't own the idea. What it means is that you've just handed over your idea to somebody else. They would run it as it pleases. They come back to you with excuses. What would I rather recommend, which is what I did in my first successful business that made it successful, honestly, was you get into the grind yourself. You need to make time for your side hustle. That's why, remember point number 1, it's important that you launch a side hustle that is tied to your purpose and your passion, something you're excited about. Starting a business is not easy. So instead of outsourcing too soon to people who could actually run your dream to the ground, actually get into the grind yourself. Make out time for your business, even if it's an hour a day, and work on your business till you've understood it. You've built systems and structures, and then you can now bring in people to actually support it. That's what I did in my first business. And by the time I was bringing in a team of 3 people, when the business was about 6 months, it made sense. It was easy for me to monitor what they were doing. It was easy for me to know when they were giving me just excuses and tell them the right thing to do. So that's it. Mistake number 3. Do not outsource your side hustle idea too soon. Get into the grind yourself, make time for your business, launch it and grow it, and then you can bring in people to support you. Is all this making sense? Is it resonating with you? If yes, please, click the like button, drop your comments in the comment section. I'm happy to look at it if you have any questions as well. Now we move straight to tip number 4. Most career women that want to launch side hustles, you act based on emotions. I don't know, has this happened to you? They annoy you okay, you have this idea, right? And then you're just procrastinating about it. You don't do anything. And then one day they just annoy you at work. You get home, you bring out your laptop, you're so pissed. I'm launching this business. It happens a lot, And that's because in your head, it's a thing. It's just a backup plan. What we should do is not act on emotions, but act on your why. Why do you want to launch this side hustle? And tie it to things that are important to you. Because if not, you will keep acting on your emotions, and then they upset you. You start the business, they make you really happy at work, they give you a promotion, they give you a small peck, you forget that you plan to launch a side business, and then it runs down. Guess what you're doing to yourself? All those highs and lows, you launch, you're successful, then you forget it and it's not making as much money. It's sending messages to your brain that your side hustle is not profitable. You will not give it attention, that you would not give it the attention that it needs. And you honestly are not doing yourself a favor, because you're just having an expensive hobby by the side. So what I would rather recommend that you do is, do not act on your emotions, rather act on your why. Ask yourself, this side hustle, why do I really want to launch it? And the answer is unique to you. It could be because you want to impact lives of people. You're very clear. It could be because you want to reach a certain income goal, because you want to be able to afford a certain standard of lifestyle for yourself or for your children. The answer is yours. But be clear on your why, because that why is what would keep you pushing it till the business becomes successful and you don't abandon it. Mistake number 5 that most career women make is that they think they can figure it out alone. Yeah, we're smart. We know we're super amazing women. We're doing great things at work. A side hustle shouldn't take so much effort, right? Like, I can figure it out alone. That's a big mistake, because your brain is for 9-10 hours working on what you do in your full-time job, right? This now, even though it is born out of your purpose, you know how to do it. There are other things that you may need help on. A business is different from, a full-time employment. So never underestimate the power of support, support from your home front, support from, people that could help you by the time you have built something that you need. You're clear on where you need support of a coach, support in terms of marketing, different things. So don't fall into the trap of believing that, I can do this alone. Look at your business. Yes, get into the grind yourself, but as you get into the grind, start to think out where are the places that I need help. And help is not just in the business. Help is also in and around you, your home, even in your team at work. You're not able to fully launch your side hustle business and grow it if you have so much fires that you're putting out at work. You need help around that area in growing your people so that things can run smoothly. So mistake number 5, thinking you can figure it out alone, thinking you can do it alone. Look through everything and rather seek out places where you need help and get the help that you need. It's action time. So what is the first thing that you're going to do today based on everything that you've learned? Please drop it in the comments. I know that some of you may be worried about the fact that, Iphie, I'm a mom, I work a full-time job. How will I make time to actually even launch this side hustle? In 2012, as a young mom, full-time job, I was able to start a side hustle and grow it to 6 figures in dollars by the 3rd year. I share with you the guide on how I did it. I share 7 steps on how I did it. It's in the PDF download. You can get the link to download your copy in the description below. And finally, I don't mean to scare you, but if you feel like your full-time job is so secure, I think you should think again. In these times that so many things are just changing and moving, it's important for you to know that no job is actually guaranteed. I can tell you that 5 years after I launched my side hustle, I lost my job. I lost my job after 11 years of meritorious service. Thank God I had a side hustle. It wasn't funny. So in my next video, I'm sure you'll be really excited to watch it. I share with you the 7 lessons that I learned from losing my job and how you can actually proactively prepare yourself so that this never happens to you, number 1. And even if it does happen to you, you are so prepared that it just feels like. See you in the next video.